Alright, so I got this corner wedged up into place, and this, you really got to wedge it up in there. And I've got the first part of the track seated up into here, and so I'm just working my way down. I'm going to come up here. Let's see if you can see it. So you can see right there, that's the little nub that you got to get under that little C channel. So I'm just going to work my way down, and I'll keep taking video along the way. Alright, let me just give you a little bit of an idea of what I'm doing here. You can see this is the metal framework, and this is that little nub that we need to cram down into that framework. So I'm just going along and just stuffing that little thing down into that, underneath that framework. So I go down one side and then I flip it over and do the other side and just kind of work my way down. Okay, so I've got the whole channel lined up and everything's in place, and I'm all the way down here to this kind of tight radius bend. It's really the tightest on the framework. This is the most difficult area to get seated, so you'll need to up your patience a little bit more right here. Just take your time, take it slow, use your glass cleaner, and just get that little nub pressed into that C channel. So I'll keep going on this and shoot more video. Okay, we got this curved perimeter gasket fully installed, and it took me over an hour to get this fully installed. So like I said, be patient, take your time, get it done right. I did have to use a razor blade and cut some of the rubber off down in this area. You may or may not have to do that. You'll just have to play with yours and see what happens. But I do have there's supposed to be a little piece of rubber that comes across like that, and I've got a fix for that, and I'll show you that later on. So we're finished with this part. Now we need to come in and put in this rear piece of weather stripping, and this piece actually does need to be riveted in place. So let me go grab all my tools, and we'll get started on that. Alright, so like I said, this rear piece of weather stripping needs to be riveted in place, and the holes are not drilled. You can kind of see a hole area, but there is no hole directly through there, and this is just like the other the piece of weather stripping we took off. There is a very thin piece of metal in there that you do need to drill through. So get these holes, they're really at this point just a reference. Get these holes lined up with the holes in the framework where you drilled out the rivets before. So I'm just using an 1/8 inch drill bit, and I'm using 1/8 inch steel pop rivets. You could use aluminum if you wanted to, but don't get them too long. These are an 1/8 inch grip length, which is plenty for this. So get yourself some small pop rivets, and of course I got my pop rivet gun. So now I'm going to come in here and drill out my hole in the piece of weather stripping and get going on that. What I'm actually going to do is drill these two holes, this one, and get these kind of lined up, because as you can see, this is a curve, and your weather stripping just wants to kind of pop up like that. So I do 2 holes. I'll drill this one and drill this one, and just use my drill bit as an alignment tool while I put a pop rivet into this hole. And then I move down and I pop rivet that hole, then drill that hole, pop rivet that hole, pop rivet that hole. So let's get going on this.